views for 15 years. I make a living from this shit, and I just didn't stop. Don't stop at all. Keep. Money and bitches. Niggas say I'm out of town, I'm in Hong Kong. I don't care about fighting, I'm in Hong Kong. Nigga coming looking for me, I'm in Hong Kong. I just went to the store, I got a Hong Kong. My mama just called, said got some money. I forgot what time it is, I'm in Hong Kong.
A lot of empathy. I don't even kill fucking ants. Like, I feel bad. I want...
Oh, man. This is hilarious, bro. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, let's try to do this. I'm in Hong Kong. Let me see. Actually, this is the bowl. The bowl better. The bowl better. The bowl is better. As soon as I turn it on, of course I gotta already pee. Already. Ooh, it's coming on strong. Let me go do this first, because I ain't about to. I've been on this fitness journey for about a minute now. Since since I can remember, really. I think, I've always done something that has to do with like fitness and things like that. And I've come to this point now to where like I would think it would be more so than I've done before. I may not move as aggressively as I used to. I'm more measured. But I notice that I'm more. I'm extensively into progressing slowly, having a slow approach to life, but it'd be more dialed in, more like just mindful. When it comes to like yoga, when it comes to breathing techniques, things like that. I think methodical might be, the word I'm really looking for. It's because it's like I'm not doing a lot. But I'm always doing something. And so I've learned to like level myself out a little more. Because I feel like I would not get a lot done out of the day. And because I don't want to say productive, and that's why it's like a weird. I want to like get, it's not just or just, what I'm saying, steady, but you know what I mean. It's more, what I mean. So doing like yoga, I've kind of like I've simplified it and drawn it out. Which is not really true because it's highly complicated. So I learned to just spread it out through the day. And it's come to this point for me that it's in every single movement that I do at this point now, that it doesn't really like, it's second nature to have my body regulate itself to align itself to me, to like, I hope this is making sense, because and I know that it is, or it's going to at some point for some people, and others wouldn't. But it's taking the time to align yourself. What's up? Okay. Alright. How long you gonna be? How long? Where is it? I don't know where it is. Where? Alright. So when I do yoga, right? So it's like, so I say like it's in every aspect of my life, right? At this point, because when I first started off, it would be big movements. It would be really like tough stuff to do. It'd be like lifting heavy, lifting hard, doing doing it for long periods of time throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the year, and just trying to like, constantly get this thing together. Figure out what I can do next to just tweak a little more, do this a little more. What can I do to just really like, because like my cardio got to be on point, my endurance and all, I got to really get it in, dude. I can't be slouching and expect to do anything good. I got to get it every day. Come on, bro. And I be tired and I try to, and you get called lazy and things like that. And, your body kind of like stops responding. And I think it's just a crash because it's like your world starts closing in a little bit. And I noticed that those walls are your environment and those people that, for one, tell you to slow down. You don't need to slow down, but you do need to regulate and be a little smarter about how you do what you do. Especially if you kind of like, and I'm getting there because it's crazy to me when I see like certain fighters. A lot of them actually talk about when Nate Diaz was just talking about this. Was it yesterday, today, something like that? Talking about how he had a shoulder injury right before the fight, and then I heard Manny Pacquiao talking about how I heard about him having a shoulder injury. Just because, and you notice it is in the people. I mean, because a lot of people, it's either I've noticed you get hurt by yourself or by someone else. It's like, yeah, okay, but what I mean is, either you're going to injure yourself through punching too hard or working too hard or something, or someone else is going to do it to you in the fight, in the thing, in the whatever, in the game. Because
like old school, the old man had these metal gas cans.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want mine?
Mm-hmm. What kind of gas can?
Like,
What you mean?
like a gas can,
Oh, like a, yeah.
but it's metal.
Mm-hmm.
It's like really sturdy.
Mm-hmm.
He had a bunch of them. There was one full of gas, but I didn't want to take that because it didn't know. It was heavy. But even just the containers, the empty ones are heavy. But it's nice and like sturdy. It's not that plastic bullshit.
Okay. Word up, appreciate it. But yeah, man. I hear about like dudes like that, and Manny Pacquiao and all these people talking about like they doing all this stuff, and they kind of don't know what to do about it, and they gotta. They're essentially losing money, and it's just like they can't really train like they want to, or they have to train through some type of pain they clearly truly don't want to deal with, because then it goes into different other types of drugs and things like that. And alcohol, pills are huge number one things, and it's an issue because you do too much of it, which you will, because you're on it and you think it's healthy to do it. You think it's right to do it. And you think drinking's cool too. So you're going to be on prescriptions and you're going to want to drink because you're going to drink. Because you drink, and there's no other way around it. And it's not good or bad, and I'm not telling you, in excess for sure, don't do that shit for no reason. If you can't handle what you're doing, not every spirit can handle what other spirits can handle. There's certain spirits that can handle certain spirits. You get me? So it's like, you can, whatever. So you're going to take on certain things, and you're going to eat certain things. And a lot of people that I've noticed that even say that they wouldn't drink, wouldn't do this, wouldn't do that to do it. And it's because they're in so much pain, and they seem to justify it the best way they can. To continue to force themselves to make a way. And I gotta say, shout out to my parents, because cool, I'm so happy that they started to go into more medicinal, plant material type ways to aid their woes and worries and pains and all that good stuff. So I like that, because I knew as a kid, it wasn't what was up for me to have it, what I'm saying? And I would see my grandma and how it would mess her up, so, and that was a trip. So, it's like, now what's up? And I would see this other dude, Stephen Bonner, how he went out. It's like, dude, and it's mainly because it regulates your nerves and it regulates your emotions. Those are the two biggest ones, and why. I noticed that. I'll take a sip, don't get me wrong, whatever. But it's because I've been so disciplined with myself, and I've made sure to do the things that I do, that I'm getting into, to not have those issues come along, right? Like, I know, alright, this is gonna fuck me up like this. These pills are gonna do this to me. This ecstasy is gonna do that to me. This, like, I don't need it. Like, I don't need it. Like, it's okay. There's other forms, there's other ways, and you can do other things, a lot of other things. So, pick your poison, really, because it's all drugs. No matter what you do, it's a stimulant. No matter what you do, your soul wants to be stimulated. Doesn't matter what way you want it or don't want it. So, it's like, really, like, choose your battles. You're gonna suffer with somebody type, pick the woman you want to suffer with type deal. All of it, like, you're gonna have a vice, the whole buggeroo, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, but the issue is that some of them deteriorate and regulate who you are as a person. Certain things don't dictate who you are as a person. Like, you can't help but go to only certain places. But I'm getting off. So, right? So, like, when I hear about it, it's interesting to me, like, this continues to stem from injuries. This continues to stem from emotions. This continues to stem from numbness and not caring or giving a shit about who you are as a person, your body, yourself as an individual. I was just watching a video of John Jones talking about that. Like, why would you want to get hit in the head? Or, like, have yourself hurt? Why wouldn't you want to preserve yourself as much as you can possibly do so? So, like, when it comes to my breath and yoga, not stretching, yoga, it is mindful breathing. Stretching is the art of sculpting, right? Like, actually knowing where you're placing yourself where you know you need to be, or knowing where you are within yourself and where you need to go next. So it's yoga, yoga and breath, and so it's when you truly become mindful of what you're doing. I notice that a lot of beginners will have this type of, like, way about them, like almost like a demotivating type of energy, because they just have no direction, no way to, like, which way to, like, fucking do shit. Like, they don't know why they do what they do. They just do what they do, but they don't know why they do what they do. So it's like a checkout. So even if you, like, it's the horse drinking thing. Even if you put them there, if they can't find it themselves to do what they want to do, and then do it. Now, to leave them wayside completely and not really show up for them is a little different, because you still got to be there. But there's a sense that there's not much to do. And when you don't have a purpose in what you do in the beginning, I mean, you truly will become bored. Your mind will race. It will want to go do whatever you want to go do outside of that thing, because, I mean, you don't get it. You don't get it. So it's like giving a person a Rubik's Cube, essentially, and expecting them to figure out that day, and they've never tried it, and they're not that person to just pick it up and do it. It's like, if you don't show them, hey, if you do, turn it here and then do this here. If you don't, you know what I'm saying? They kind of have to also have it in them. But if they're there, whatever. So, I notice there's no check-in on how you do what you do. So you don't, there's no, having mindfulness will put you in a state of planning out, mapping out what you need to do next for yourself. Like I said, me doing this thing to where I'm truly blending life and breath and yoga into everything I do, and realizing that, I don't need to move outside of what feels comfortable to me, because even if, like, I move, like, okay, so, like, for this example, this is a good example of me doing this on here and recording. It's uncomfortable, but I'm good with it. Like, I'm comfortable, but it's still like, man, I still gotta post this. People still gotta see this. So I move within that comfortability. So I map out what that is and still put it out. I still got to make a checklist. And so when it comes, like I said, to my body, I know what to do next. Because I took the time to really check in with who I am. Because no matter how much I looked on the internet, no matter how much I would check other shit, it just wouldn't. I wanted to know, but it didn't really get me anywhere. Because it's a lot of information, which is good because it's in there and cool. But it's like, like I said, I noticed, like I told this one person, it's like, it's better to do it and then, because I believe I heard it off of somebody on YouTube, like doing cameras and stuff, but if you do it first and then, I don't know where I heard it, to be honest, but if you do it first and then go like mess up, make the mistakes, and then go back and check, it makes more sense instead of trying to figure out, like, let's say you learn something new and you want to, whatever, so you go look up all the stuff on it and you want to see what's going on. It's not going to do you any justice. Taking the time to make the mistake, try certain things. So in this case, it would be like yoga or anything, whatever you want to choose to put it on. And then going back and then going, oh, I don't know how to do this specific thing. So as an example, what I mean is, I noticed that a lot of people have they're strong and they look strong. But when when y'all grab it, when you're wrestling and y'all lock up, it's not what, the muscles don't the look doesn't translate to the strength. And I noticed that a huge part of it is mobility. Things being locked down. Hips being really tight on the outside. Hips being tight in the front abdomen being really, like the chest also. Like, like I said, people work on, even yoga people, and this is what I'm saying, they tell you to do the breath, but that's also superficial because they're not telling you that you can move your muscles with your breath. And I don't mean just, and you can move, no, I mean like move through your body, if you can imagine it, right? That even when you do simple exercises, it's superficial. Even if you do certain yoga poses, it's superficial. When you do certain breathing exercises, it's superficial. It's not. So take the time to sit to yourself. That's why I say I stick to the body. I stick to yoga. It's easier for me to translate all what I think into the body, into structural things, foundational things. So I've dug into realizing that I am able to use every bit of my life like a cat, as a yoga session, right? I am able to put my mind into a place to where every single place that I am, I will be comfortable enough to move how I want to move and maximize myself as much as I possibly can. through this also I've noticed that muscle development and strength, because like I said, through mobility I have been told that I am very strong, but I've always felt very weak. No matter how strong people told me that I was. And I would always be so tired, more tired than I felt like other people were for some strange reason. And I would overheat too. But I noticed that my hips are really tight. And like I said, I've noticed that when it comes to doing certain yoga poses back then, I would try to like really overstretch myself. I would really try to like, as a beginner, do the most. Like I said, the most. And now I try to do like the least amount of things, and it gets me somewhere, because it's like the inside, my breath, and me recognizing like what parts, you know what I'm saying, or doing what and all that good stuff. It gets me there a lot further than thinking, oh, I need to just open my hands up, which is good, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm noticing that when it comes to me teaching, showing people things, that I'm more of like an in-depth person. So when it like, I don't know how else to put it, but I don't want to teach people that teach people. I don't want to teach the people that are taught by people. I don't want, that need to be taught. I don't want to teach. I want to teach people that teach. I want to show people that already show people how they can show people more. Because I'm not saying that I'm not, like, I can, whatever. But I don't want to, I want to show them, like, yo, like, look, you know what I'm saying? So when they have a more broad sense, because, like I said, I don't really, like, know all the yoga moves like that, and the names, and it's like some drumline type shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. So, yeah, I don't know the name, you know what I mean? I don't know the name of it. I don't know, like, the certain positions and things like that. Like, I know certain ones, but I still feel like a beginner, even though I've been, like, moving and grooving for a minute now, you know? I don't know the name of it. I just know the sound it makes when he taps. Getting to know myself and realizing how tight my hips are. How, like I said, I got way too many, like, people-pleasing muscles activated for way too long. So I have way too much tightness all up in, this, like, my jaw and all that stuff and whatever. The strength, like, I know that people could be so much stronger if they could align themselves and not be so off kilter. I've noticed that it is a big deal that people are very strong and all these things and lift all these weights, but the joints hurt, and that makes me technically weak because it's hard to push past that amount of nerve pain all the time. And your body not running smooth. The big deal with me was because I went through the journey of hurting myself so much. Right. Boom. Lifting heavy, way heavier than what I need to. Ooh. I develop a lot of issues and pain in my body. And my body's sitting in places it don't need to be sitting. And so now I have to take time to reverse all of this and fix it all. But I didn't see what the deal was, because it's like I'm lifting so heavy, I'm moving so fast, I'm doing so much, I'm staying steady so long, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing all this stuff, I'm saying it's so consistent. Why do I feel so tired, bro? Why do I feel so weak still? Why do I feel like I'm not getting anywhere? Why do I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even realizing that I'm thinking, well, at least I don't get injured. Like, man, like, dude, you had a couple injuries. What are you talking about? You got a couple pains and aches and things going on. What you mean, though? You've had some pulls, too. You just haven't went to the doctor too much about it, you know what I'm saying? So, as much as you could, as much as other people do. You're not opting for surgeries and things like that, you know what I'm saying? So, it's like, so yeah, man. I kept questioning, like, what the fuck? And so now, me putting myself in these positions where, because I've even noticed that my skin is like, my muscles are looser too. Because I don't like how those, like, a lot of dudes, they have like this, like, tightness about them. I don't like that look. Or just like softness, because their muscles just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't got no pump right now, but yeah, man. And this light don't help either. Putting my, like, it's just weird to me. Like, what's it about? You know what I mean? And now having this fluidity to myself, me understanding, like, mapping out my body and what it looks like from the inside. Do basic, just do feeling and just like imagination, really. Like, I'm just pretty much imagining just like my body is, like, you know what I'm saying, just being a controller. or my mind being the controller, really. Well, me being the controller, of course, of my mind controlling my body. We did this. I've done it. So it's like having that sense, and then, you know what I mean? So yeah, now things are a lot easier. I can do push-ups. They don't hurt. That's a big one I noticed, man. Just like being able to do simple things. I like do like where like and I noticed is when I kind of like slowed down, and me catching that shoulder injury. I noticed that it's like most of it's in the hips. Most of the issues I've seen is hip problems. Stomach and chest and hip. Because it's not your back ain't hurt, your neck hurt, your head is you think too much. You think too much. You got too much on your mind. Get that shit off your brain. So start working on hips, outside hips. I know it's inside, but I know it's just like the pelvic stomach region too, bro. Like the sacral root region. When the pinched nerve too, that was a big one. Because of course it's always one of them, but it's the right side for me. The nerve, that little sciatic nerve, it's pinched up real good. Not for long. Yeah, but I incorporated it into everything that I do now. And I noticed that I could like chameleon myself into doing things. Like it's gonna be, it's obvious that I do what I do. You're gonna be like, what the fuck is he moving like that for? But it's like, you know what I mean? When I don't want to move like that, I'll do other stuff or whatever. But it's kind of hard to not even just do what I want to do in public or wherever I am, because it's like, but. Nah, I mean, son. To care about mobility. Balance. Awareness of who you are and what you used to do. Taking the time to see, like, what you can change out of yourself mentally first. Because, I mean, you're not your mind. So you can change your mind. You don't say change my, me mind. Or me. You don't even see, even that's not even, you don't say change me. You say change your mind. You want to change your mind. Possession, you own it. You own that property. You own that. That's you. You are the observer of that, to be able to swirl it around and do what you want with it. Start there first, with knowing that you can do other things within yourself, meaning you and your mind, and then your brain will compute it. And then your body will go, yeah. But if you don't change your mind, you don't change your habits, you don't change you. You know what I mean? You gotta change you. And that's before the mind. You are before that. If you want to even say before, but you are first. You are the thing. You are the thing that produces this and then makes this. You jump into thing and then you make it. You know, you jump in and you do something with it. To have the physical freedom, I'm saying, is strength to me. That's, it's not. Lifting weights ain't strength to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, but calisthenics is strength. Mobility is strength. If you can't find space within yourself, and you're all congested and tight, that ain't cool. I want somebody that's tight but loose. You got a tight body, but it's all like free and, you know what I mean? Malleability is strength to me. Being malleable is strength. Being able to be adept and adapt to situations is strength. Learn to not be so afraid of certain things is strength. That's how you do it. And that comes in many forms, many fashions, many ways. And not giving a motherfuck. That's a huge one. And that's a game for your ass.